InterHerd Plus, the new elements of it are ability to view your data on the cloud. So the same portal exists for accessing the data through your computer, through your InterHerd Plus program. All we do is copy that database onto the cloud. You access it, as I say, in a very similar way, but because of that, it then gives us the option to view your data through a web portal from wherever. So it could be your phone, it could be a tablet, it could be your computer as well. Now, if I share my screen, I can show you a bit more about it. So we have a setup on here, Cloud Systems. So it's a typical website. You access it, as I say, through any portal whatsoever. Works really well on a phone because it does configure quite nicely. And because your data is there on the cloud, you don't need your computer open in order for it to sync. It is a live sync, but your computer at home can be logged out, shut down, whatever. There's no live access requirement there because it's stored on the cloud already. So what we have here, this is just a demo herd. It's very easy. This won't take long. There's a few elements, but it's a real convenient part of your program, and we can certainly set anybody up that would like to access their data this way. I've left my email address on the chat, on the Q&A, so yeah, feel free to look at that, and then you can contact me to get set up. So initially, we have our welcoming screen. It's done through a username and a password. We can set all that up for you as well. So this is very much like the herd structure you see on the main program. Really nice summary. So as of right now, these are the numbers of milking cows overall, your herd overall, and then you can expand on each of these elements as well. Plus they're split by fertility status. So 12 pregnant milking cows currently. And a little look at what's coming up. So events that are due in the next 7 days, you can see the action lists here. So these all link to various places. If I click on the pregnant milking cows, that gives us a list. And then we can actually filter out slightly more on that and see, how many barreners we have alongside. So everything from your main database is here. In terms of easy access, so the whole point of this, there's no graphs, there's no analytical stuff. It's very much lists of cows, numbers of cows, and of course cow records. You've got your Yoni status alongside, so just the same as everything else that's on there. And if you imagine, this is going to be configured to your phone, so you've got a quick checklist that you can use and scroll through. The main menu across the top is here. So if I go home, I'm back to my initial starting point, and then I can look at animals and go to Animal Viewer. So this is likely to be a place you'll come into time and time again. We've got all the line numbers here, so you can search for a cow or you can just pick somebody out. And then we've got her records here. So lactation summaries. So again, very similar. These will be the exact same figures as your InterHerd Plus data set. It's just on the cloud. That's literally it. So I know I keep saying the same thing, but that's the whole point of this, really. So we can see latest calving date, all her event history. We've got a scheduled cull for this particular animal following a do not serve earlier on. So that will look identical, and it will all be familiar to any current user. Within this, we can view milk data as well. So coming in from your milk recording info, and I said there were no graphs. I lied about that. There we go. There's an individual graph, but that's a cow's lactation curve, and then you can see down here you've got your recording results, fat, protein, and cells as well. Back up to the top, so I can go back to my events table. So the latest events and detail with those, and then from here you might want to add a new event. So just like on the animal record, we've got today's date. You can alter this, of course. We've got a list of all the events. So I can put in, I did a check earlier actually, but I'll just do a condition score maybe, and then I can score my cow. I've got my operators on here, just the same. I don't think I've got any on this demo herd, no, but they'll all, of course, carry on through. It's a live link straight into your data, so they'll all be there, remarks and so on, and then I can save that. So immediately that's updated onto that cow's particular record. If you were then to go back to your InterHerd Plus, log into that database, you would see it there immediately as well. So it's instant. Okay, so we've got the ability to add new events onto each cow's record there. I can also go up to the animal list, choose what animals I want, so it might be a bit of a filter on pregnant, not pregnant, but we can look at all cows as a general list. So I'm just literally scrolling up and down on here just to see maybe a particular animal's record, so you can investigate further. That takes you into the cow record from here. So your starting points, you can choose where you want to start from, really. And we've got this things like sorting as well. So if I wanted to view maybe by status, you've got then that working list of all your barren cows, followed by your no heat, not served, and so on. So we can go into animals and we can add a new animal. There we are. So a purchase, something enrolled as a new animal to the farm. If it's a calf, of course, that's born, you can do a calving through the exact normal route, as previously, really. The other key element to this is the action list menu. So we have a summary, animal events due. So that lists everything. A bit like the herdsman's list, again, that you can see on the main program, but we've got it all together. So it's one great big long list. Now, what I prefer myself is just to break it down a bit. So if I go to animal events, I can then concentrate on one thing at a time. So looking at my calving list, there we go. We can see, due dates. We've got Yoni status again, combined with all of the rest of the data. I can sort. So all of these headings you can sort by into that way or the other way, whatever you like, and then you can sort by animal as well. And if you've actually got a cow on calving, again, we can just go straight into that animal's record. And we could pop the calving in either with a tick on here, changing this date, or you could add a new event. So it's all fairly logical and straightforward, really. Doesn't need to be more complicated than that. The other element as well, reports, I can go into milk recordings. So we've seen it for an individual cow. If I go into milk recordings here, you've then got it from a herd perspective. So latest recording summary across the top here, average cell count for the herd. And then I can, it's broken down by average. Again, it mimics the table that you find in your milk recordings report anyway. Individual cows will then give us the actual results. So for the last recording that we had here, these are the results in line number order. Again, we might want to sort, so we can look at cells in ascending order and then descending to get the exact high cows that you're interested in. So nothing new on here. It's just a whole new format to access your data when you're out and about on the move using your phone. And would welcome feedback, absolutely, if you think there are elements that you would like to see in these menus. We've got individual cow data entry. Anything that you can do now for an individual cow, absolutely you can on here. There is a batch entry element, so yes, please let me know if you want to see more on this table. We have the ability to do mobility scoring, weight and condition, milk recordings. I think that's if you're not full recording, you might be doing an interim test, something like that. You can add those in. Other batch entry elements, for example, maybe a PD session, if that's the sort of thing you'd like to see, then do let me know. Thank you for coming along, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Bye-bye for now.